Okay, Sam Allardyce has parted ways with Leeds United today. It's been confirmed, although it was strongly rumoured last night that he was not going to stick around. His tenure of 4 games in charge is the shortest time a manager has been in charge of a football club in Premier League history. 4 games. He got 1 point, 3 losses, 1 draw. So, if you look at it on paper, Leeds haven't kicked on from when Bielsa, got them to the Premier League. That solid first season where they survived, which is important. They re-established themselves. That second season, it starts to go wrong. They sack Bielsa, bring in Jesse March. Garcia then comes in for 11 games, 11, 12 games. That doesn't. They have a heavy defeat on his last outing as manager. They bring in Big Sam. It doesn't work because the way the squad is structured, on a playing standpoint, is all-out attack football, basically. The way the squad is structured is to outscore the opposition. If you score 4, we will score more. They don't have the pieces for a more structured game. They play a very, very chaotic style, very open, chaotic style, which as a neutral is really entertaining to watch. I will stress that. Now, who they get in to replace Sam Allardyce is anyone's guess. I do think, however, with the York family, who own the 49ers, who are minority stakeholders as things stand, are very likely to get a controlling stake within the next year or two. So the ownership side of things, there's money there. On a board standpoint, the fact they've gone through 3 managers this season and they only gave Allardyce 4 games to fix it is a bit of a head scratcher. But I don't think Allardyce was ever going to fix it, not with the players available and how the team is structured to play. It was never going to work. And Sam Allardyce, one of the most controversial managers in the game. Obviously, the way he exited the England job with a cloud over him, the allegations that have been made against him for many years about taking backhanders to get round, transfer rules and spending rules, and there's some corruption allegations against him. He is a very controversial figure. Now, some of these allegations haven't been proven, some have. Now, the England side of things, that's his reputation tarnished, obviously. And there was this myth about Sam Allardyce that he never gets relegated. Well, that went out the window with West Brom in 2021. But the timing of his appointment made no sense. Notice all 3 clubs relegated changed manager this season. The only club in the bottom 5 not to change manager were Nottingham Forest. And towards the end of the season, their performances improved. They pulled clear. They've stabilised. They had a pretty decent points total. So it was never going to work at Leeds. Chopping and changing the manager is not going to work. I think I understood where Jesse March was coming from with the style of play he wanted to have in place. He needed better players to do it. Garcia obviously didn't have enough time to implement what he wanted to do, which was something very similar. Again, that attacking style. Not enough emphasis has been put upon defensive organisation and defending from set plays. The goalkeepers, both goalkeepers, they went through this season. The 2 main goalkeepers looked very, very nervy, lacking in confidence. But the team were too passive defensively. They were too open. And there's some bad habits that have crept in there, all the way from the Bielsa days, where, again, this attacking football was great. And as a neutral, it's very entertaining to watch. So that's the news today. Is Allardyce is gone, but it's not really a surprise. But I don't think he was the right appointment anyway. They should have possibly stuck with Garcia. I think he could have possibly got them out of the situation, because before that last defeat, actually they were a point per game team, and when you're scrapping and fighting, you're getting those wins, you're getting those draws. Every point's precious. Under Allardyce, 1 point in 4 games, just the wheels completely fell off. And that press conference he gave saying that I'm just as good as Klopp and Guardiola. Yes, he's been in the game a very long time, both as a player and as a manager. Obviously, his involvement in the game goes back 5 decades as a professional in some capacity. But I'm saying that his style of football is more direct, more structured, and sometimes very, very overly defensive park the bus at times. He expects his players to grind it out, fight, scrap. And the Leeds players, the Leeds style, just isn't that. So I think there's going to be a massive change at Leeds with players. But I think on the ownership side of things, I think with the 49ers ownership group, who are partial owners of Leeds with the investment, the York family, I think have about 45 to 49%. They're seeking a majority stake in the club. I think that gives a little bit more direction where we're going forward. They've got deep pockets, so they're going to be willing to spend at some point. But yet again, American involved ownership, and they chop and change managers quite regularly. These American owners. Look at Chelsea with Todd Bowley. I look at the Glazers at Manchester United since Ferguson's retirement. Some of these American owners, I don't think fully get the European style of football. They understand the franchise model in the major leagues, but I don't think they fully get. We have a promotion relegation system. We have a different sporting culture where it's a club culture, not a franchise culture. And I think this has been a very, very tough learning curve for a lot of these clubs that have American ownership, where they just don't fully get it. And get there's a cultural difference in the way that sports teams are run and how sports leagues are run. And losing that Premier League revenue is going to hurt a little bit. Leeds, obviously, massive club, massive fan base. They always travel well supported club, as I say. But this was never going to work with Allardyce. I think some of the decisions in the boardroom over the last couple of seasons in the Premier League are leaving me with a scratching my head. They needed to evolve their style a little bit. So then we have to question their transfer policy somewhat as well, and some of their scouting. Some of the players haven't performed to the level that's expected. Yes, they've had injuries to key players. Yes, Bamford's missed a lot of game time. Luke Ayling is not the player he once was, not as consistent. The goalkeeping situation is a very big concern because neither goalkeeper is really truly confident. So there are some deficiencies with this team that I don't think they fixed in the transfer market either. But we'll see what happens with Leeds, and we'll see if Sam Allardyce gets yet another coaching job, because he's very good at getting coaching jobs, and he's also obviously that controversial figure. But there we go, Sam Allardyce parts company with Leeds United. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comments section below, and I'll have some more content for you very, very soon.